France 24's international affairs editor, Douglas Herbert. Doug, good evening to you. Now, as France eases the lockdown in place, there are many people who are conflicted over whether the confinement period should have ended. Some, however, are afraid for their economic survival. It's difficult for the authorities here to find that right balance, isn't it?
It's almost impossible, and there are no clear-cut answers. The debate is often depicted as one of those who fear contracting the virus if they go outside, in this new deconfined era, versus those who say, we need to survive. We need to eat. We need to make our livelihood and gain a living here. It's not quite that stark a choice because there are a lot of people, in fact, you could argue the majority of people in France, who are both fearful of getting the virus, yet also feel a very clear and present need to be out there engaging in the economy again and making a living. So it's not, a black and white debate here. Look, Emmanuel Macron himself said on the eve of this deconfinement, he says, this is not a return to normal by any means. What it is a new phase, a new stage in which France and the rest of Europe, and really the rest of the world until there's a vaccine, will be living with the virus. So essentially, France is entering down this, is starting down this deconfinement road with one hand on the emergency brake. And it is ready basically to reimpose, to slam on the brakes again and reimpose strict confinement measures, lockdown measures at the slightest sign of things not going well. 63%, it's a significant number of French in a recent YouGov poll, actually said they're afraid of contracting the virus again. Will that make them more cautious? Will that mean that they will strictly follow the rules? What is absolutely clear is the government does not want people to go out there in a free-for-all today or in the days to come thinking that the worst is behind them. They want them to be cautious, yet they want them to try to resume their lives. And striking that balance without getting neurotic, without getting overly panicked, and yet also being cautious and prudent at the same time, that is really the trick going ahead. And there's no easy academic answer or intellectual answer as to how you can do that.
Doug, elsewhere in Europe, we're seeing over in Germany that the reproduction rate, that's the rate at which one infected person could pass on the infection, is actually increasing. This as they have eased some of the lockdown measures in place. Is that a taste of what is to come for the rest of us?
Yeah. Well, we hope it isn't, but more likely, sure, it is. Look, Germany was a model in Europe, did aggressive testing, has a very well-funded, very solid public health system, so great hospitals. It did almost everything by the book that you should do, and for a while was lauded as a success story. Last Wednesday, we had Angela Merkel, the chancellor, basically saying that Germany was now leaving what she called phase one of the pandemic behind it. Federal states in Germany, the Länder, started loosening their restrictions. And now a week later, as you just said, we do have those reports which came out over the weekend from a very prominent public health institute saying that the reproduction rate is over 1. What does that mean? It means that you have the virus spreading to more people. 10 people will infect 11 people. So it's exponentially expanding in a way. At the same time, Germany is also taking new measures because, like I said, there have been new lockdown measures put in place in areas, especially there were outbreaks in some slaughterhouses, meat slaughterhouses, also in homes for the elderly. And in those states, there are 3 states in which some lockdown restrictions have been reimposed. They're hoping to get that reproduction rate down below 1 again. And they want to avoid a scenario in which all of Germany, all of the Länder, all of the federal states will have to reimpose very draconian curbs and essentially leave deconfinement and go back into a lockdown mode. In order for that to happen, the threshold would be 50 cases of COVID, of coronavirus COVID, out of 100,000 population. Germany is not there yet, but there have been some red alarms going off in certain states, which has raised the hackles of some Germans. So Germany may be a taste of what is to come because the Germans tend to be rather disciplined. At least that's their reputation. The French have a reputation of being a little less disciplined. Le Parisien, which is a prominent newspaper, daily newspaper here, said it quite well over the weekend. They said the French are too spoiled to know how to be stoic. And that's the fear of the government and some high-level officials, public officials here, that the French are now going to see this as a liberation day. Despite all of their fears about getting the virus again, they will sort of let themselves go, and in their sort of desire to resume a semblance of normal lives again, will give up some of those cautious precautionary measures and the health gestures that they have taken until now in order to protect themselves and those around them, their loved ones and their friends.